What's up? What's up, guys? It's your boy Boogie back again with yet another live stream. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me, for still supporting your boy. We're back in here. Today's gonna be a short one, but I said I might as well come review some videos with you guys, update you on what's going on with these dating streets. All right, so do me a favor as you're coming in, like the video. I'm just gonna make sure you guys can hear me, just to make sure all the technicalities are well. You see the title of the video of the live stream. It's crazy out here. So give me 1 second just to make sure you guys can hear me nice and clear. Like the video, support your boy, so that other people can come in here and support and join us as we are reviewing this, right? So let me just make sure you guys can hear me, and then we get started. Okay. So all right, you guys can hear me, I think. So I'm just gonna get started, man. I'm not even gonna waste your time. So let's get into it. Give me 1 second. Who is the first in the chat? I think somebody's in the chat already. Let me just make sure I show you. Oh, it's my boy Isaac. Isaac is already in the chat. What's up, Isaac? First in the chat. I saw your comment, Isaac. I saw your comment about the bazookas. You're crazy, man. Yeah, I just gotta have fun with it because these women out here, man, they be crazy. You'll be surprised how many women use toys bigger than anything. I don't know. You need to Google some of those toys. I'm just saying, like, women use big, big toys. So by the time you come to her, so when you hear with all these women talking about, or majority of women don't get they don't get to orgasm in the relationship and things like that, they use crazy big toys. So by the time you go in there, like, she's used to a bazooka like this, and you're going in there with this. Like, do you see the difference? Do you see the size? Like, it's so you will do everything you can, but you can't please her. So guess what? She's gonna go back to the toys. Anything small you do. So when you hear women scream, "We don't need men. We don't care about men," they are using bazookas. They only need men to pay for their dates, to pay for their bills, to take them to eat. After that, they don't need you. You know what I mean? Because bazookas. It's the same thing with the pregnancy pills, the contraceptives, right? It's the same thing like when contraceptives came on the market, they don't care about you. It's the same thing when child support came. Everything that used to put men and women together, there are so many ways that made men and women, created that space to increase the space between men and women. Because remember, now they make their own money. I mean, they still want to use your money, but since they know that they can have a baby with you and take you to child support and still get the money from you, they don't need you to be in the house anymore with them. So there's so many things that create so much space and distance between men and women. Some of us can see it, but the women call it independence. But you see how what's happening in the community since those things came around, from the contraceptive pills to the sex toys, to all these things, condoms as well. Now the HIV pill is coming. Can you imagine how much raw sex people are gonna have once the HIV vaccine is really out here? It's gonna go crazy. People are gonna be going crazy. Just know, man. Anyway, man, let's get into it. Shout out to my boy Isaac in the chat. So let me not waste your time. Let's get into the show. Okay. These videos crazy. So let's go.
And I'm gonna tell you why. It's like when, okay, I'd attribute most women to being like celebrities at their peak or their uprise, right? When they're on their uprise, they're selling out the crypto stadium. They selling out, they on tour. People paying thousands of dollars to see them. Then on a decline, when nobody's playing their music and no paparazzi ain't following them. Now they performing at the local like senior citizens, situation, or like some knockoff high school, right? And then and only then do they appreciate their career and their talent, and they appreciate what now is important in life, But before, it didn't matter because they were selling out arenas. Like, I hate that narrative, man. It's like, why is it that it takes so long? And then I'm also saying to this point, and I hope I'm not contradicting my initial point. I don't think women are like that, in my opinion. I think women always like the Russell Wilson. I think what happens, because we're talking about our community has this attraction to caricatures. We have attraction to like boom, bow, bam. Because the reality is, when you look at most married people, they're not married to people that got plugs and a bunch of tattoos and all that. The dude ain't an ex-gangster. He didn't slang. He didn't do none of that. He was normal. He went to school. He graduated. He got a job. He worked at the plant. That's typical. However, somehow, some way, in our community, we have this story behind how, well, girl, you know, he gotta just do it for me. Then when you ask the heifer, what does he do for you? She can't even explain it. That's how stupid it is, because it's not like quantifiable. That's a girl. Women always want the dependable dude. When she 18, 22, 25. I need women to be honest about that I'm not mature enough to grow up and understand. So yeah, I go through a conversion. Like, I'm a declining artist now. I sell out high schools. I'm no longer the headliner. I'll land.
To be fair,
No, the difference is they want the stable guy, right? But when do they want him? I don't believe they want him when they're 18. I don't believe they want him when they're still out here with their girlfriends. I don't believe they want him when they have so many DMs in their messages on IG. I don't believe they want the good guy when the rich guys are hitting on them. I'm telling you right now, the good average guys, because that's what we're talking about, right? There is no woman who's going to choose an average guy when she has 10 Drakes. I'm not saying every woman is hit on by Drake. I'm just giving an example. No woman is going to choose Boogie when 10 Drakes are hitting on her. I don't care how much Drake doesn't care about her, but the fact that she's going to sit in his private jet, she would never choose me over Drake. Now, eventually, when she gets older and realizes that, you know what, maybe Drake just wants to use me. He's just, he has so many women. I'm so jealous. Hey, Boogie, it's been a while. What are you up to? And Boogie's going to be like, hey, listen, I ain't interested anymore. I mean, not all Boogies are going to say that. I mean, you never know. Maybe Isaac may want to take care of her, because remember, sometimes they come with kids from the likes of Drake. So maybe Isaac G may be the one to want to be a stepfather after that. But hey,
here though, you're right. Okay.
I don't think it is.
I think it is the need to, one, it's the need to like satisfy what everybody else likes, right? So like, my man got to look this way so I can gain the approval of like the people that are around, my friends or whatever. So yes, it's what's popular. But deep down, yes, we always wanted the Russell Wilson. We always wanted them to treat us right. Unfortunately, the men that like gain the approval of your peers are not those men that treat you like that. So you're not wrong. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. No, you're definitely not wrong. So
I'll tell you why I think
I
you're
agree
wrong.
with you there.
I'll tell you why I think you're wrong, True, right? I've been to several high schools, right? I've been to a really, really bad white high school in the inner city. I've been to a decent school in the suburbs, right? I've been to both of them. And in both of those schools, right, the popular guys are never just the guys who are just intelligent, right? The guys, that all the girls want. They want that guy that peaks early, the one with the six pack, the one that's cool, charismatic. It don't matter where you are. He doesn't have to have tattoos and stuff like that. Even though the ones who often have the tattoos and is willing to take risk early, it's attractive to women, and I get it. It makes perfect sense why it would be attractive. There's a masculinity to it, but I don't buy that the women wanted the Russell Wilson early on. I don't buy that at all. Some of them do, right? Because a lot of women understand when they're average, right? Even though we like to say they don't, but a lot of women do understand when they're average. And even though they might be like, oh, look at that guy, he's so attractive, but I ain't, he don't want no girl like me. a lot of them understand that. They're like, he don't want no girl like me, and they go and they end up with average guys like in their high school in their hometown, and they end up living their life, and they're not worried about future and all those type of guys. But the girls who are the upper echelon inside of the school, they're dating all of the popular, the attractive guys, the athletes. Like they're getting who they want, right? The athlete, those guys get to pick who they want. And if they gave an average girl attention, she'd be like, "Oh my God, you like me?" Like, yeah, they would. Yeah.
I think you missed the
Nah, because now back in the day, yeah, average women knew they were average, and they knew they didn't qualify for Chris Brown. They knew they didn't qualify for Drake. But now they got $1,000 to pay for Chris Brown's what is it called, meet and greet. The moment she takes a photo, do you guys think the moment a woman pays $1,000 to go take a photo with Chris Brown, you think she's ever gonna think, you know what, I took a photo with Chris Brown, now I'm gonna go get married to an average guy? No. In their minds, they believe I got to touch Chris Brown, he got to take a photo with me, so I qualify for that type of guy. Oh my, even if they paid to actually go see him, even if they paid to take a photo with him, in their mind, they believe now I'm at the level of Chris Brown. That's the guy I should be with just because they paid to take a photo with him. So right now in 2025, average women don't want average men. Actually, even below average women don't want average men. So it's changed.
part where I said, I know amongst each other, we're talking about predominantly our community. I utilize our community, for example, that in my opinion, because I've been in several different exchanges, multitude of cultures, multitude of different demographics. I personally believe, and Bo even admitted this, most women want the Russell. I'm speaking from, okay, I don't think our community understands that there's a lot of us that can't get girls that are actually quality, that are good women, that come from good freaking families. So we depict that value is, ooh, that's not getting women. Like having them like gawk at you, having them like chat about you. No, because there's girls that men that are the future can't touch. And I don't think guys understand that in our community, because the way we interact with each other on a relational perspective is not the norm. That's just not normal. Like there's protection. There's some people you can't get to because their family is strong. Mm-hmm. And I get what you're saying, Mont, that there is an attraction, a peak level of what girls, young females, may find interesting. But if we're doing this correctly, most of the girls also, if they're being raised correctly and protected correctly, understand that that's not permissible. I wouldn't even entertain it. It wouldn't go nowhere.
I want you to give me the percentage of women who you think are raised correctly, right, with extremely strong fathers who are controlling who they would allow them to date and who they won't allow them to date. What percentage do you think across all America?
I would say it's about 55-45.
You think 55% of the women in America, the men are so strong in that family and they have such a grasp on that family that
that's not
my girl can't bring home who I don't want her to bring home?
We talking about America that is heavily dominated by people who don't look like us, right?
White people, all of that.
Yeah, 55-45, easy.
Nah, not anymore. Maybe 20 years ago. Because even women who have two-parent households, usually they out here in the streets as well, right? They out here doing exactly because they are friends with women, with girls who came from single-parent households, right? And remember, birds of the same feathers, they're gonna do the same shit. They're gonna flock together, right? So if they're hanging out majority of the time with girls who came from single-parent households, with girls who listen to Cardi B and Megan Stallion, guess what? They're gonna do the same things they do. Now, if you told me that women who come from two-parent households are usually friends with each other and they never associate with women who come from single-parent households, I would agree that they probably are not going to be doing some summer girl, hot girl, summer BS and getting their cheeks clapped out here.
That I would argue it's less than 20% of fathers who have that type of control that's going to control who their daughter is bringing home.
I agree.
I'll tell you why, because even when I bring up the concept of how relationships are supposed to be built, most people that I've seen on these panels don't even understand that you don't get married without the assistance of the family. We still talk about relationships like it's just us. We talk about it like I ain't having a conversation with your father or your mother or your grandfather, because in most times that we meet each other getting together, they are putting together our relationship and assisting.
Yeah.
That's why people get houses and weddings and honeymoons. How many people you know got married and actually went on a honeymoon? Not to Vegas, not to Oklahoma, but like to Greece. How many people do you know?
I don't know a ton of people.
I'm sure, because in our community, we look at relationships like high school, and that's not most people. The average wedding in America is $35,000, $40,000. Most people make that in a year. So how is that possible? Statistically, most people who are getting married spend $35,000, $40,000, and the average income in our community is $35,000, $40,000, $50,000. So that's why I think it's more prominent than we want to give it credit for. We isolate ourselves a lot because we think we are the standard, or we're not.
I think it's the opposite of what you're saying. I think when you talk about this, I think you're operating as if the majority of people in America are these well-off people who are doing well and have these tight-knit families and have trust where everything is in order. And I think that's the minority still. Like, I think even I think there's a lot of white people. No, they say more white people on food stamps than black people. Sure. Like, there are a lot of white dysfunctional families. And even when I went to a suburban school, right? Most of that suburban school, 75% of it was just blue collar people, blue collar white people who they lived in a small community, but at the same time, like they just were regular people. I don't know. It wasn't like a rich high school. It was just a suburban high school. And most of those families, if their daughter brought home a guy, those people were very understanding. You know, like a lot of these kids get strung out on drugs and they kind of go through this little phase and then they kind of adjust, but they're not as strict as we think they are, where their kids aren't fucking on people they don't want them to fuck on, and they not doing drugs they don't want them to use, and they not drinking and sneaking out and doing all these extra things. Like they having a fun.
I think you're interjecting. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I was gonna co-sign what mine saying, because I think we might look at our like the hypersexualized, hyper machismo version of what we are and say that that's just isolated to our culture. But if you go to the white culture, the American Pie white boys is the same version. It's a white version of the black man who go get it, the gangster, the rogue, the preacher, and it's like one other. That archetype across culture works. So you will get the cool white boys who go be the heartthrob for all these white girls. What's Buddy the Fonz? You know what I'm saying? They not. It's not just Andy Cleaver and the most straight-laced white guy is gonna always win because he has a career in the future and all this eventually. But until they get older, the same way kind of with us, and cool and attraction ain't really the key aspect. All these communities, the Yakuza, like all type of different communities have that same aspect of men who gonna successfully be able to attract a multitude of women.
Yeah.
I think overall across the board, the people who are still married to this day, like let's say the people who got married like 10, 15 years ago, that family structure is not as strong as it used to be 30 years ago, right? That's why I said even the people who come from two-parent households, anybody who comes from a two-parent household who's not older than 40 years old is probably going to be listening to hip hop, is going to be influenced by social media to some extent, is going to be influenced by the Megan Stallions or the Lil Waynes of this world, is going to be influenced by feminism for the girls, right? So even if they come from two-parent households, the chances are higher that they were not taught what marriage means. So for me, I believe that people who are still married today, who have been married 15 years plus in this day 2020-2025, could be the last strongest marriages we're ever gonna have, because usually these days now the average marriage lasts 7 years. So if people are getting married today, you best believe by 2032 there's a high chance they will be getting divorced within 7 years, maybe even less, right? Depending how old they are. If they're older, it may take longer, but if they're older, that tells me they should have been married a long time ago. So maybe they're on their second, third marriage. Either way, that's even a higher chance of getting divorced. So we're all fucked up, man. The days of long-lasting marriages are gone. So if you're still looking out here for to get married, I mean, I wish you luck. I'm telling you. Actually, this is what I would say. If you are a man in 2025, you're 30 years, you're 30 years and older, and you're still hoping to find a woman to get married to, I have a higher chance of becoming a billionaire than you finding a woman who's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. I'm going to say that one more time, and I'm going to trigger people. If you are a man in America, 30 years or older, and you're not married, you're looking for a woman to get married to for the rest of your life, you're hoping to find the one, like you all like to say, I have a higher chance of becoming a billionaire than you finding a woman you're going to stay with for the rest of your life. If you disagree, put it in the chat. If you disagree with me, put it in the chat. I'm telling you right now, I have a higher chance of becoming a billionaire because all I need is, I don't know, 2 lottery tickets, 2 Powerballs, and I'm good. But for you to find a woman who's going to stay with you for the rest of your life, I'm not saying getting married. That's easy. I'm talking about she's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. You're not going to divorce her. She's never going to divorce you. The chances of that happening are slim to none. And last time I checked on Slim, he was on life support yesterday in the hospital. So good luck. And shout out to Lapif. Let me go to the next video. Give me 1 second here. Let's cook, man. Let's cook. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Like the video, like the videos you're coming in. Support your boy. Wait. Okay. We're gonna go here. Give me 1 second. Like the video if you're just coming in. Support your boy. Really appreciate you guys. All right. What's up? I don't know how to say your name, bro, but I really appreciate you for supporting my channel. 0627 the Kavi. He says, you are absolutely right. You do have a higher chance of becoming a billionaire because these women are not worthy. Forget even being worthy, right? Forget even that. It's more about it's one thing to be not worthy. It's another thing to not be how do I say it? To not have like the type of love we used to see in the movies. Honestly, I don't know, man. We watch so many love story movies from the Titanics, the Notebooks. That shit fucked us up, man. We really believed in love. Like, we should have been told no woman will ever love you for you. We should have been told that from the start. Honestly, if you were told that no woman is ever going to love you for you as men, we wouldn't have all these issues right now. The reason why some men crash out, the reason why some guys go to jail, some guys end their lives, right? The reason why some guys go crazy with all this relationship shit is because we were taught you're going to find a woman who's going to love you for you the way you are. We should have been told that that's never going to happen. That would have been made things easier. That's why when a guy says that no woman is ever going to love for you, 2 types of people come up. One, women who are going to say, oh, who hurt you? That's the first thing they're going to tell a man who says something like that. And then there's going to be another sector of men who say, you've just never found the one. So most men are still in that mindset of they're going to find the one. They're going to find a woman who loves them for you, who loves them the way they are. And the only person who can love you for you, even close, not even fully, not 100%, is going to be your mama. Because even your mama ain't going to love you if you ain't shit. You know what I mean? If you think I'm lying, let your mama hit you up for some money and then you say you don't have money 3 times in a row. Your mama ain't going to love you no more. I'm telling you right now. She may not say it, but it's the truth. Anyway, let's go. Let's go to Anton Daniels. Give me 1 second.
Woman scorn, you could say, and now she wants payback. She wants money after she says her now ex wasted her childbearing years. So here's what she wrote to the Telegraph's moral money advice column. I've been in a relationship for just over 10 years with a guy I had hoped to marry. He called it off a few months ago. He tells me he feels at 38 as though he still has a decade of enjoying his lifestyle and powering through with his career, and he's not ready for marriage and children. So here I am at 34, eggs twitching, ready for the marriage and parenthood stage of life, but unexpectedly single and emotionally devastated. The woman says she feels as though he owes her big time and she wants him to pay.
Okay. Women sue men over wasting childbearing years.
That is so stupid.
It's
And
so
of course,
dumb.
Gail King had to cover it.
It's some bullshit.
Why'd you stay? What you stayed?
No accountability.
I
Good
mean,
question.
men, if you're staying,
Always the man.
men know who they want to marry. Men know who they want to marry within the first year. They already know. They already clocked you. Why did you stay? You have the option to leave.
Facts.
Wait a minute, but when we talking about a dude beating up a woman, you said that you said it different before when it was abusive relationship.
We're
Now
not
you-
talking about abusive relationship. We're talking about your childbearing years.
yeah, but you said that why did she stay? She should have left. So
Mhm.
if the girl it was abusive relationship, you said it's the man's fault. Now you switching it
I'm
up.
not switching nothing. Then if you in a violent relationship, you should leave. If you're with a man who you ask, like, hey, listen, I want this, I want marriage, I want kids, and you choose to stay with this man for 10, 12, whatever, how many years, I forgot how many years Gil said.
10 years.
You should leave. Nobody's making you stay.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. So did they never have sex in that 10-year spirit where she could never have a child?
No,
That's crazy.
There's still hope.
Yeah, maybe she's barren.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Be with somebody that long and never have a child.
Yeah, maybe she don't.
Right.
Maybe her eggs are. Maybe her ovaries or something wrong with them.
Or maybe
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe she didn't want to.
Maybe she got to
have
Mary
kids.
J. Blige.
If she didn't want to, then why would she even stay in that relationship? If she wanted to have kids so bad, why would you stay with somebody that ain't giving it to you? That makes no sense.
She probably stayed because he was paying the bills. She probably stayed because, you know, she had a place to live. There's so many reasons women stay with men, even if they don't give them the marriage. Because remember, marriage is just a piece of paper. But if a woman is living with me, but we are not, you know, officially married, but I'm paying the rent, I'm paying for the food, I'm paying for her car, sometimes I'm paying for her phone bill. She's getting all the benefits without even getting married to me. So that could be one of the reasons that, you know, she stayed with him for such a long time. And another reason she may be complaining right now is because they broke up. Because if they didn't break up and they were still together, she wouldn't be complaining because she would still be getting all the benefits. The only issue I see here is because men are deciding not to get married and women know they cannot divorce men and take half their money and their assets. Now the new tactic women are trying to use is, I'm going to sue you for not marrying me. You see that? They're going to sue you if you refuse to marry them. Because somewhere, in some shape or form, they're going to try to get that money from you, whether they through divorce or whether you refusing to marry them. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
I'd be giving it to her, but her age can't take. You know what I'm saying? She could be.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying he ain't giving it to her. Of course he is. But at the same time, why would you stay in a relationship that you ain't getting a child out of it that you want?
Yeah.
Or are you on birth control, or are you, or you're not?
What was
It's
the
crazy.
story? Were they like planning, and then after so long he said he doesn't want, he changed his
That's what
mind?
sounds like she was saying. Sound like she was saying.
Like they were both planning, and I think like they were waiting on the right time and opportunity, and then flat
And
out
she got
said,
too old.
Yeah, 10 years.
I don't want to do it anymore. But it's still, you know, there's still hope for her. She can still have a child if she still has eggs available. All she has to do is go have a child with
Her
someone.
eggs would be hard boiled in about 6 years.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. If she has eggs available, that sounds like a grocery store to me. That sounds crazy.
In that situation, if they were planning on having a kid,
soft-boiled
and that
now.
was the end goal, but even in that situation, it wasn't happening for quite some time. So when I don't know, I guess punitive charge, whatever the hell it is, or why you deserve that. It didn't, you were planning it. It
And why does
wasn't
she want
happening for over 10
revenge?
years. So,
She
so
said she
now
wants
you,
revenge. Like it sounds like
you scarred, you deserve that. Hey,
But I think the bigger question is, do men sometimes waste the best years of a woman's life?
No.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, they do.
No, they
Not
don't.
just childbearing, but just in general. Do men waste the best years of a woman's life? I think
Yep.
that's the bigger
They
question.
do.
Yeah.
No, you know why I'm saying no? Because if the reverse can be true, that a woman used me for my money, but women are gonna say no, I didn't use you. Until women can take accountability for using men for their money, until then, only then will I say yes, a man wasted a woman's childbearing years. Because if she really wanted kids, she could have gone to find somebody who can give her kids. If she wanted marriage, she could have gone to somebody else who wants to get married, right? So the same thing, because you know what they're going to say for men? You should have found a woman who doesn't want you for your money. That's what they will say all the time. Why did you get a gold digger? You should have known that all she wanted was money. They say the same thing for men. So no, it's accountability on both sides. We are adults, right?
They do,
small
but
window. They got a
allowed
small
to,
window.
yes. If
but
I'm
Anton,
allowed to.
don't women allow that stuff though?
That's what
No,
I'm
they
saying.
don't.
Well, I'm asking y'all.
Yeah, you
I
can't
mean,
make
I
somebody
got
tight.
If
my
a woman
Always.
decides to stay in a unmarried relationship
Mhm.
and she's not getting what she wants out of it, why is she still there?
Good
That's
people
right.
gonna be at where they want to be at.
Because y'all
Yeah.
lie.
A man can only do to a woman what they allow him to do.
See,
Y'all
if
You
you
can
turn
only lie so
into
much,
Y'all
though,
mislead.
Mimi, right? You can only lie so much. You can't just
if
stay.
you turn this whole conversation into abusive relationship,
Mm-hmm.
lie
it'll
after
change.
lie. Like at some point, you're gonna be like, all right.
Sometimes you don't find out till it's too late.
10 years later?
Yeah,
No,
sometimes.
No, that I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to.
Why not?
No.
Sometimes you might
10
find out
years?
10 years later.
It be signs in 10 years.
What if it's 5
That was
years
some-
later? It's still too long.
Yeah,
That's way too long.
Yeah, it
That's
don't matter
way-
if it's
a year
4,
is too
5,
long.
6, 7, 8. It's still too long.
Well, I mean, let y'all tell it the way women are supposed to be so submissive. I mean, we're not supposed to ask no questions. We're supposed to just take whatever you say. So I
Yeah,
mean,
what's wrong with that?
so if you telling me that
just
you're
playing.
not cheating or you living this clean life and I don't know nothing about that, then what am I supposed to do 5 years, 10 years later?
Yeah, but y'all ain't submissive. I would agree with that point if the women were actually being submissive and they don't talk back, they don't verbal abuse men, they don't emasculate men, they don't try to disrespect men. But y'all disrespect men. Y'all don't cook. You don't submit to men. You're not feminine, so that doesn't fly. That's not a good argument.
No,
why is it our fault? That woman on that videotape wants revenge for what? I would ask her, what do you want revenge for?
No, I wouldn't.
It's gonna be like a thin line between love and hate. It's gonna be
I don't know. I think we would need more details about this to because I don't know.
She won't
It don't sound right.
It doesn't sound right.
It don't sound right. Like, what you gonna sue the man over wasting childbearing years? That's on you. You decided to stay right there and chill out.
Yep. But why is
you put that on ice? You put your own eggs on ice.
You understand?
One mic, y'all. You gotta do one mic.
Y'all are hypocrites. Y'all are hypocrites because this conversation does not. If a woman's getting her head bashed in, y'all wouldn't be saying what you're saying now. Well, why don't you
What
leave?
you mean? What you mean? That's always what I say. I don't know what you're talking about. That's on the woman to leave. Who told you that? I don't know who told you that.
I hear a lot of women saying that, why do you blame women for getting abused? I blame them because they stay there. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
You just said, oh, okay. I never heard a woman agree with that.
I mean, it's just like cheating, because the first time he cheat, and then if you decide to stay again and you cheat, that's your fault. You'd have done it.
Now the initial act. Yeah, like the initial act, like I wouldn't say that that's the woman's fault initially, but if she wants to stick around and see if it's gonna happen again, then hell yeah, that's a damn fault.
So it was Cassie's fault for staying with Diddy, right?
Absolutely. Man, you should have had him on here when we was talking about Cassie, bro.
Cassie did her dirt too now. So let's
I thought she was a flower and an innocent flower.
She was a prostitute too, so
Look, we gonna leave. I'm gonna leave Cassie where she at.
Aren't you gonna say allegedly?
She was setting everything up for
of
Diddy.
course, they let all the
testified
shit
to
she was
that.
doing. She was getting the people to go screw the other people.
Oh,
She was-
yeah.
Definitely testified to that in court.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then Diddy was watching her get bust down by everybody. So
So do
Exactly.
y'all think that? Do
Right.
y'all think that men sometimes waste the best years of a woman's life?
Yes.
No.
You drain them. You know.
Yeah.
No,
they got a
I
small
think
window.
women waste the best time, the best years of their own damn life.
I agree with Kamaya.
If it ain't them trying to hurry up and change a man into something that they want him to be or want him to do, or chasing their career and wanna live the free life and not have to
Oh,
be
God's
tied
summer.
down and have to
Yep.
submit and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, you about to push 50, and then now you want to say, oh, you want to try to settle down. Like, no, I feel like it's the women.
Fact.
Women
I love when Kamaya cooks, man. I love Kamaya. Clearly, there's a reason she's married, man. And you see how all the women are looking down. It's only Carmen who agrees. Jazz is looking down, and this lady is looking down. Now, Q's a horse, so I'm not going to talk about it. But look, Jazz and this woman don't agree. Every time Kamaya cooks the women, tries to hold them accountable, they have nothing to say.
So on the other end of no babies, if a man gets a woman pregnant with 3 kids, they got 3 kids, and he leaves, he wasted the best years of her life because she's stuck with 3 kids and he's left. So in that sense, he wasted the best years of her life too, in her eyes. I know, I love my kids, I know all of that, but in her mind, she's saying this nigga left me with these big head kids, and he going on with his life.
But Shampoo, we're not talking about about her life. We're talking about in general. What do we see? What do we see on the outside?
I see an angry woman with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but if you have one kid with a deadbeat guy, why would you have 2?
Because there's women that I don't know why they do it, brother. You seen it?
The other question is like, we know that women have like this sixth sense, right? For every other thing.
No, I don't believe
why
that.
don't they ever see this shit coming though?
That's a good question.
They don't.
Because women scream women's intuition. Oh my God, women's intuition. Never. You should always trust a woman's intuition and things like that. But when it comes to picking the wrong man, they don't ever want to take accountability. I mean, you're so smart. You have all these degrees. You're running businesses, entrepreneur, wigs, lashes. You're doing makeup. You have so much money. You have the brains to make all this much money. How come you can't tell that, okay, I had a baby with the wrong man the first time, and then you go on the second time, you have a baby with the wrong man the second time, and the third time, and you're still blaming men? That's a good question.
They think they can change him. They think that they're so special that he's not going to hit them. You know what I'm saying? He hit them other women, but he with me. He's not going to touch me because I'm so, you know.
Why are you always talking about hitting women?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Be a theme for him.
No,
Like
It's not about hitting.
It's not.
They just like to be controversial. That's why.
You know it.
that part.
Not trying to be
Every
controversial.
conversation.
I've been saying this shit for 100 years, and I ain't gonna
Ain't
never.
nobody
change.
said nothing about violence. She simply said her childbearing years, and now we talking about
Because you're
violence.
wasting your time. It's all about
We talking
wasting.
about all of that.
It's all about wasting your time. It's all about wasting your time. It's all about It's all wasting your time. That's what she said. Am I wasting? Women have a small window. You'll never see a dude break up with a woman and go get an older woman. You'll never see that. They get a younger one. That's because y'all have a small window.
That's not true.
The window's from 20 to stretching it to 32. That's
For what? For
the
what?
window.
For having children?
Not so much for having
Getting a man,
children.
because that's a whole lie.
It's just what it is.
No, it's not what it is. You That is not true. That might be for
Our
you, but
window
not
is open wider.
Let me tell you something. I can't beat these 22-year-olds off of me. Okay, stop
Yeah,
it.
because they like older women.
Yeah, but they're not just because younger guys want you. I mean, they want to clap them cheeks, first of all, but clearly you're not with any of them, which means you don't want them. But in the reverse, if an older man who's like 45 and has 22-year-old women chasing him, he's never going to say, I don't want them. He's probably going to accept all of them. That's the difference. Younger men chase you as an older woman, you don't want them. But if younger women were chasing an older man, he would want them. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's a fetish.
But so what's the window then? You said it was a window. So what's
Not
the
for
window?
those
You
two
telling me my
people.
window was
Not for
closed?
those few people.
No, because
but I'm talking about women in general. There's a small window.
No, because at the end of the day, I still can get pregnant, and I'm 44 years old. Okay. So with that being said,
Yeah, but the baby have an eye in the middle of his head.
Whatever you might. So you mean it'll look like you, in other words. But at the end of the day, I can still get pregnant, and I can get me a 21-year-old tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, but his mother will say, "What are you doing with that old
his mother
lady?"
says he's legal
Yeah,
and
I'm
he's able to
telling
get
you.
it. So with that being said, you can't say there's a window for women to get men. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not true.
It's a winner for the type of men they want. I think that's what she should have said. That's what she's not understanding. Because if you're 44, like she said, let me guess, you want a man, but you don't have him. You're claiming these younger men are chasing you, but you don't want them. So which means the men you want, which let me guess, since you don't want younger men, you want older men. Those men who are 44 and above, they probably want a woman who's 30 years or 25. I don't know, whichever, but they don't want you clearly. Because if they wanted you and you wanted them, you all would be together, but you're single. I think she's single. She wouldn't be speaking like this if she wasn't single.
There might be a window for them to get pregnant, but there's not a window for them to get a man. Because baby, please don't do that.
Hey, but hey, guys, getting laid.
Just because
Get-
you can get them,
Hey,
yes,
get-
because you can
guys,
get them,
You're trying to say
guys,
and now if that's
guys,
Hold on. Wait. One mic.
guys, getting laid and getting married and getting a proper man are two different things.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There is no 21. There is no 21. There is no 21-year-old guy in his physical prime that will take a 44-year-old woman
Hell no.
seriously.
And there's definitely no 44.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
I'm about to say
No, unless he's broke. There's no 21-year-old millionaire looking for a woman who's 44 unless he's broke. And if he does, he probably doesn't have other younger women who want him his age or even younger than him. If not, maybe because she's the most beautiful woman in the world, those three. But usually she's not the most beautiful woman.
that's a whole lot.
Anton, seriously, would they take them seriously? I'm not talking about bust them down. I'm talking about take them seriously.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, don't take him seriously, but then the chick will end up leaving him because he ain't gonna be doing nothing. He's too young. He's still trying to find himself.
What y'all talking about is
Only thing you can
extremely.
offer is dick. Only thing
What y'all talking about is extremely subjective. That's not every 21, 22, 23-year-old, 25-year-old. It's not
It's not
everybody.
okay. I take it
That's
back. It's
not
not everybody, but most people that I know would.
rules, right?
Because that's not the case. That's not the case. You might be talking
should
about
have-
some old busted old lady, somebody who don't have nothing
majority.
going.
Majority don't.
The majority. The
No,
majority.
but
That
one mic.
You
Be
don't
for real.
see these Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore relationships. No, not the majority.
You don't. I'm telling you, it happened way more than you think,
My man
especially
from
nowadays.
Ireland
These
all the time.
dusty women,
I got a homegirl.
dusty women
that's
out
2
here.
that's 2 years younger than me, and
Tell 'em,
she does
Anton.
look really, really nice. I'm not gonna cap.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 41, and she had 2 kids previously, and she recently got into a relationship with a dude, and he's up there, and they about to get married, and they recently had a kid, and this nigga, I think he's like 25, 26.
Damn.
Yeah, but clearly he didn't have other options. So first of all, that's the exception, and Anton Daniels knows much better than to use the exception as the rule, right? We're talking about majority of 25-year-old men who are doing really, really well are not dating and getting married to women who are 40 plus years old. Majority of men who are doing that, who are young, are usually broke, number one. Or number two, they don't have options like that. Let's just call it what it is.
Anton, that's one case. That's one case.
No, they got Winston's. What you think?
We're not saying. Listen, guys. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, guys. What I'm saying is, usually, guys at that age, they don't really look to be bogged down.
Fact.
That's what it is. They like most of the young boys that I know now just want to be wilding out. They don't want to. They're not going to take a 44-year-old seriously. They're going to beat it down. And they're gonna tell their friends.
They'll clap them cheeks.
I fucked this old bitch.
Honestly, I just don't. I think we giving niggas too much credit, bro.
You are definitely.
I'm not giving them credit, Anton. This is not giving them credit.
Hold on one second. Hey, I'm on a live stream. Are you? I got a question. How old is Nico?
Maybe 30. I'm not sure.
He's 30. But when he got together with
I think he was in his 20s, if I'm not mistaken, when they first got together.
And she had how many kids already?
2.
And they've been together for how long?
I'm not sure. If I had to guess, maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Yeah, but you know why that doesn't prove anything? Because Anton Daniels is the same type. He's the same one who tells men never to be stepfathers, right? But he's using the example. Actually, he calls them step dummies, right? He calls them step crash dummies. In his own words, he tells men never take up a single mom. So he's using an example of the type of man who's the young man who decided to marry and have babies with a single mom who already had 2 kids from a different man. So that's not even a good example.
Happens all the time. I've seen it happen day after day, bro.
But it's
and these young niggas is going. I know another chick that is about 45, honest to God. I know another chick that's 45, just got married to a nigga that can't be no older than 28.
Yeah, because
she already got kids. And she got kids. And I'm like, what the fuck is up with y'all niggas? Now I can't go to them and say, because I'm cool with the girls. I can't go and kick it with these niggas and say, what's the fuck is wrong with y'all? But these niggas is going. Honest to God. And I'm
that's
like,
the best
man,
they can do.
I don't get
And
it.
happy the whole
get it,
time.
bro.
Happy to do it.
I tell
And
my
happy
son,
to
you
do
ain't
it.
going with that old.
Also, chances are, if you find a young man, 25, getting married to a 45-year-old single mom and having babies with her, chances are he grew up with a single mom too. There is no father who's gonna let his young son get married to a single mom who's 20 years older than him, and the father is gonna be okay with it. Chances are slim to none. It's never gonna happen just like that. Do you guys agree in the chat? Oh, Miss Mariam is here. Miss Mariam is in the building. She said, I'm not getting your notifications. Yeah, I know, Miss Mariam. It's just YouTube doing YouTube shit, you know, but we're still out here cooking. Anyway, let me get the next video ready. Let me do this real quick. Actually, let me do this one. Shout out to you guys in the chat, like the video. We're out here cooking, so let's go. Give me 1 second. Let me load this up. Let me get this. Let me get this ready, and then we get into it. I don't know if I was on this one. I don't remember. I don't think I was on this one because I'm gonna be reacting to Fadi and Ilkan Ali, but I don't think this was a show I joined. Maybe not. I don't remember. Maybe it's the one that I actually joined, but it's been a while, so I don't remember. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Let's go.
Gonna fly him out here after the 4th of July. You gonna fly him out here? What does mean?
Yes.
And you gonna leave him here?
Yeah, for a week. Jasmine said I can stay at her house.
You don't have to. What is that? Why do you got to be around all the time for a week? Why are you trying to be? Okay, you got it. Okay.
What?
Okay. All right. Thank you for picking up.
Yeah, you can help.
Let's say for a week. Do you not understand? Like that, bro. It's that you gonna tell me I can have them for a week? What the fuck? And then they can get on there on the internet and say, "Oh, you not doing this, you're not doing that," but they want your money. Like, bro, this shit crazy, bro. You can't do shit. And it's like you just gotta sit there and take it. And I ain't, like I said, I ain't disrespecting. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about you. I'm gonna stick on the subject of the kid. And that's why you gotta watch who you have kids with. And that's just my fault. Because again, you just gotta watch who you have kids with. That's all it is.
The second video.
Says texting you, not me.
I don't know what you want from me. I know. Can you pull over into there?
I'm going to play it again, okay?
Says texting you, not me.
That's crazy.
So, Manny Marco said, it's my fault. I chose her. Okay? He said, it's my fault. I chose her. And then we have this couple. This guy brought a brand new car. For whatever reason, his girlfriend decided to put her hands on the wheel. And now the car is not new anymore. Okay? I'm going to start with Damien. Damien. Is Manny Marco right? Is his fault? And then we kind of expand it to the overall conversation. Is the man responsibility when he picks a woman that is not all the way up to the standards that people actually should want them to be?
Before we get in, I'm gonna ask you a question before we get. I just want to give some love and condolences for the people affected by the web flood in Central Texas. It's real close to where I live. There's 80 people who got drowned in a flood recently, and 40 of them were children. So just some love out there for the people out there. I'm not a person of faith, so if you are, please pray for the families of the people who have been affected by the flood out there. So that's just wanted to say, get that out. But now back to the shenanigans. I feel like he bears some responsibility. He seems to be taking accountability for it. He says like he didn't pick the right kind of woman that, and just the whole idea of having a baby mama can be end up being problematic. I'm like, try to have a wife. You should be trying to have kids with your wife as opposed to baby mamas and stuff like that. So, and hence the topic about marriage and what have you. So I think that can like solve some of those issues you may have, the whole baby mama thing to a degree. And the second thing, I got that dude. I don't know, the dude that had his woman crash his car or whatever like that. Yeah, he's one of those who probably gets hit by his woman. He probably he's an abused boyfriend or whatever, because he didn't react. His reaction and nothing wasn't like, it was something like, yeah, this is just like what she does kind of situation. And if he's this, you got to give. You get what you demand and what you accept out of people, and he's accepting that type of crazy behavior and stuff like that. You know, I can't feel bad for him at all. I was like, wouldn't be me.
Facts.
Damn, Kelly, you said facts. Why?
I mean, I understand hindsight is 2020. You know, I get that, but I just find it hard to believe that people are just so crazy that they didn't see any red flags. Like with the woman that, you know, with the steering wheel, there's no way she never said nothing to make you think she's not playing with a full deck. I just find that hard to believe. Shout out to Hambone in the chat and my mother in the chat as well. So I don't know. And then as far as Funny Marco with the baby mother situation, I just feel like there's two sides of the story with that. Like the fact that the mom doesn't want him alone with the child. And I do know he has an older child. I just don't know how he is as a father. So I'm just like, maybe she does have reason for that. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, you're on your second baby mom, not your first wife. I don't really have a ton of sympathy. I mean, it just is what it is. And like Dame said, he taking ownership on it. So, you know, shout out to him on that.
I agree.
B, is it his responsibility or the responsibility is on the woman?
Both. Obviously, it's both because as a mother, I have an ex-husband. Both of my children are by him, and I feel a lot like Funny Marco. Like I chose this person, and the way that they show up or not for my children is on them. Because, you know, first of all, I was young, and I don't know how old Funny Marco is, but you know, when you choose people, I think you do have in mind, would I want to have children with these kids? But then how they are once you do have children with them, it can change a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, but we need to stop using that whole excuse of I was young, I was this. Are we all young? Yeah, but if we keep using that excuse, then we're never going to take out full accountability. That means there's a chance we're going to do the same shit again, in my opinion. And especially women. Women are the ones who are running around talking about I was young, I was that. Like they never give the same, they never offer the same grace to men. Like a man cannot say, I was young, that's why I didn't get my money up, but please give me a chance and date me. She's gonna be like, no, nigga, you're broke right now. I don't care if you should have made better choices when you're young to get your money up so I can give you a chance. But when she has kids, she had kids when she was 20, 21, 22. And now she's 35 and 40. She's going to ask a man, give me a chance and be a stepfather because I was young and dumb when I had these kids. I didn't know any better.
I love your hair. I will say y'all got some good looking women on the panel today. Love.
Yeah, only the woman. Thank you very much.
All right, let me get another video real quick. Just give me 1 second. Real quick, give me 1 second. Guys, like the video. I really appreciate that. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go.
What's the youngest you guys think you should date age? Like what's at your age now, what's the youngest you would ever date?
35? Generally speaking, I think 18. Why not?
Yeah.
You're joking.
You said the youngest legal. She's legally.
You're joking.
She's legally of age.
He's done wrong.
18.
How old are you?
I said generally speaking.
No.
Any age.
He's 40. So
I ain't 40.
he would date.
He's not 40.
I ain't 40.
I don't like that.
But at the end of the day, an 18-year-old is legal.
dating an 18.
How is what's wrong with that?
Did we not see how the Shannon Sharp situation played out?
I mean, me particularly, he was messing with a slur.
She was 19.
That had ulterior motive. Okay, so then what's wrong with it? If you shouldn't date if a man is 30 years old, why shouldn't he date a woman that's 18? Explain. Who want to go
I'm
first?
coming from experience. When I was 18, I mean, I was a pharmacy tech. I started talking to the pharmacist who was 30 years old. And looking back, that was super inappropriate. Like, I think that was an overstep on both of our accounts, but more so on his part because I was fresh out of high school. Like, this was a job that I was,
So essentially, you're saying that he took advantage because you were younger?
I'm not saying he took advantage.
So what are you trying to say?
But I'm saying the maturity level that I was at and the maturity level that he was at are so vast that there's nothing that we should have.
So you think that the maturity level has to be equal between men and
necessarily all that equal, but closer.
But what do you say that there's 30-year-old men that's immature? So if a 30-year-old man is immature, does this make him is he qualified to date a 18-year-old?
It's not just that, but as far as them being legal and then actually knowing, like they have to experience life a little bit. I feel like
they have to be in the streets first.
And that you're right in that aspect.
Oh, well, I could use the same argument.
Are very grown for an 18-year-old and stuff like that. And I get that. But still, I don't.
So here's the thing. You're really not saying anything that's wrong then, because if it's the case, if you're bringing up maturity and experience, well, maturity, a 30-year-old man, he can be immature. Yeah. And if his maturity level can match up with the 18-year-old, but you said that, you still wouldn't accept that man that's 30 dating the 18-year-old. So that excludes maturity. Maturity doesn't make it a qualifier. Right. And even if you're speaking about experience, well, it can be a 30-year-old man that doesn't have a lot of life experience, right? Yeah. He's just kind of had a coddled life, but he's dating this 18-year-old. But you would still say, well, no, you still wouldn't want that 30-year-old man to date the 18-year-old because it's just not right. So then that excludes experience and maturity. So then what's the reason of why it's actually wrong for a 30-year-old man to date an 18-year-old woman?
They just don't like men's
I think
preferences.
I would say discernment from someone who dated someone like.
Speaking of Mike for me too.
I would say discernment because I, personally did date someone like you said that was I was fresh out of high school too, and he was older than I was he was older, probably in his 30s at the time. I think it.
What do you mean by discernment? Meaning that the 18-year-old couldn't make good judgment?
I think that we do have cloudy judgment. It's like it's like having like bar head, like when you're drinking and everything just seems so right.
Okay, so I got a question for you. If that's the case, then why is it that when you're 18 years old, you can vote?
Good question.
Because if you can vote, think about it. If we got to think about it logically, right, and see if you're logically consistent. If the claim is a man that's 30 years old dating a woman that's 18 years old, it's wrong. You have to justify why it's actually wrong. Now, if you're saying that, well, the 18-year-old doesn't, you said the word what? Doesn't what?
I think I said discernment.
Doesn't have discernment, can't make good judgment.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying the levels of discernment that a 30-year-old would have versus an 18-year-old is different. And in a political view, you're basically saying, why can't this person choose between this candidate and that candidate? No, you very well can sit down and research and develop your ideology. You can do
it's the same thing. If you can sit down and choose who the president is going to be, because remember, the president doesn't only affect you. The president is going to affect me and everybody else in the country. If you can make that decision, you can and make the research, like she said, being an 18-year-old woman, you can definitely make the research on when you're going to date this 30-year-old man. But for some reason, once they become at 18, they want the younger guys, because these women, when they were 18 and in high school, they didn't want the guys in their age group. No, they found them boring. They didn't have no money. They found them immature. That's why in high school, you remember, most girls were going for the older guys, right? For the guys in college, right? For the freshman guys, right? So they didn't want the guys at their age. Even older women don't want men at their age. They always go for older men. But the issue is they don't like men's preferences. That's the only thing. Because I'm telling you right now, if there's a 35-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man, and the 35-year-old man says he doesn't date 35-year-old women, he dates 34-year-old women just by 1 year off, the 35-year-old woman is going to have an issue with that as well. So it's not about the age. They just hate men's preferences.
Same.
Okay, and the same thing if you're dating someone. Yeah.
Well, all
So
I'm
it's
saying is a person that's 30 years old is
Uh-huh.
going to have a level of discernment that an 18-year-old will not have.
Oh,
That's the point.
totally fine. But if it's the case that an 18-year-old, because I'll do the same questions with her, if it's the case that the 30-year-old has the same level of discernment as this 18-year-old, which we know that's the case, this is something that could be real, right? There's some 30-year-old men that really can't make good judgment like their other counterparts of 30-year-old men out there, because they're just maybe inadequate, lazy, or maybe have low IQ. Who knows what it is. But if it's the case that the discernment level matches up perfectly with the 18-year-old, then is it okay for the 30-year-old to date the 18-year-old?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to pose this with another question. Can your 18-year-old bring a 30-year-old male to your house
Can a
as
18-year-old
prospective partner and spouse? Can your
Make
daughter
it
bring
sense.
can your 18-year-old daughter bring a 30-year-old man to your house and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm dating this man. He's courting me. I like him a lot. I could possibly marry this man." Submit,
Yeah.
obey, duties, all of that to this 30-year-old man. How would you?
You asking me?
Yes.
I'll answer your question. So with me, I would say that I would be in the courting process. I got 2 daughters, so I would be involved in the courting and dating process of who's going to be dating my daughter, right?
So she could date a man.
So she can date a man. So if it's, I would say yes. If I happen to come across a man that is a good man, and I use my discernment and met the man and spoken to that man, and he seen what family he came from, what religion he has, and all of this, if it's a good fit for my daughter, totally fine. The age wouldn't matter as far as the 30-year-old and 18.
Like I said, this is all bullshit, right? Like I said, I told you guys, these women don't like men their age. They want older men. If younger women didn't want these older men wouldn't be dating. They wouldn't be out here with younger women, right? But they run away from men their age, calling them insecure. I mean, honestly, it's not really insecurity. Or no, it's not maturity. It's about the money. Right? It's really about the money, because they would be okay dealing with a man their age if he was rich. So it's really all about the money. Because remember, for men, an 18-year-old man really doesn't have money like that. Doesn't have money to take on dates. Doesn't have money to take on trips, to buy clothes, shopping, and things like that. Right? He's gonna take to buy some pizza from Domino's, right? But the 35-year-old guy, he's probably gonna pay her phone bill, take out shopping, take her to nice places and things like that. So it's really about the money. But the fact that the problem they have is that men their age, especially when they get older, they want men their age to not go down. They want them to date them. Because remember, every time a 35-year-old man, and remember, it's the 35-year-old man who has the money. If you're a 35-year-old man and you don't have money and you're broke, these women don't care if you go down and date younger women. They don't care. They only complain about 35-year-old men or older men who have the money, because they're like, he has money, he should be dating me. Why is he dating younger women? He's taking advantage of them. But if he's broke, they don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't matter if you were.
But the question isn't on me, because I don't think that it's wrong. The question will be posed to you because you think that the 30-year-old man dating the 18-year-old woman is wrong. And by wrong, you mean immoral, right?
I think it's unethical.
Unethical, so immoral.
No, unethical is basically, ethics is really what plays kind of in the workplace. So when she was saying that was like inappropriate, I can understand why. It's because
but if you peel back the layer to ethics, then it's still going to go to morals.
Yeah, the definition is not morally correct.
Yeah.
Or unethical?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the definition.
Like I was saying, so the point that I'm trying to make is I'm not saying that relationship is necessarily wrong. What I learned from being in a relationship like that is that he was more controlling, right? He tried to manipulate me in ways that now that I know what I know now wouldn't have necessarily been okay with my father.
Yeah,
but most, and I just want to draw most fathers aren't in their daughter's courting process. Right? Traditionally, let's just be completely honest. You're not, when you're talking to someone or sharing messages or showing interest with someone, you're not going to your dad and say, Dad, I'm interested in this person. You're usually going to see if you're interested in that person first, and then you're going to move on to however that plays out.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But my refutation for that argument would just be, well, she could be with the 18-year-old boy her same age that's controlling as well.
Yes.
I was just saying personally.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, just because I don't, like I said, they don't like it because the way they look at it is like this, guys, they only complain about the rich guys. I have to say this over and over and over again. If women my age wouldn't care about me dating younger women, if they see me as broke, if they see me as below them, they don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's not like they're going to give me a chance anyway. It's not like, so they wouldn't care. Right? That's why women care so much about celebrities like the Chris Browns and all these other type of celebrities who date non-black women, because they see themselves with those celebrities. Does that make sense? So if Chris Brown, especially black women, if Chris Brown dates an Asian woman, dates a white woman, dates a European woman, right? Black women see it as an issue because they see themselves with Chris Brown. They see themselves with the athletes. It's the same thing with the age gap BS. Women only complain about the men their age because they look at it like he should be dating me. He shouldn't be spending his money on young girls. He's taking advantage of them, right? They would rather the guy with the money, their age, dates them. Even if when they were younger, they were dating older men too. So they don't like men's preferences. That's what it is, really. Anyway, man, shout out to Cooley. I'll put the link down below to No Fugazi podcast. Shout out to you guys who came in today. Today was going to be a short one. I'll be back next week. Next week, I'm going to stream. I'm going to go live on Thanksgiving. Actually, I'm going to go live the day before Thanksgiving. So, Miss Maria, I don't know if you're still here in the chat. I'm letting you know. I'm going to be here next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be here on Thanksgiving, right? And then I'm going to be here on the Friday, right? And I might be here on the Saturday as well. So, 4 days of live streams, Miss Mariam. So I'll be glad to see you in the chat. I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to be going crazy. So I'm letting you know. Isaac, shout out to you for coming in the chat and supporting your boy. Mr. 0627 Dakavi was in the chat supporting your boy. So I appreciate you guys. If you didn't like the video, like it now as I'm heading out. I'll be back next week. We're going to do a marathon of 4 days. All right. So I'll be here with you guys. All right. Shout out. Thank you for supporting your boy. Till next time. Peace.